What's up, everybody? This is time to wrestle with Suplexus. I'm Suplexus, and today I present Future Slam 5 Survivor Series War Games. So, I've done plenty of Future Slam videos now for Bad Blood, for WrestleMania, for SummerSlams, but this one is special to me because I am actually going to the show that I am fantasy booking. I am going to Survivor Series War Games this year. Vancouver is about an hour away from where I live, so it's really special for me. A big four event, but without further ado, you see the big matches, you're waiting for it. Let's get into Survivor Series and how I would book it. So, the first match is the Women's War Games match. And if Rhea's team wins this, or the team that Rhea's on wins this, Rhea Ripley gets one final chance at Liv Morgan and her championship. So, let's get started with how this comes to be and how all these competitors fit in. So, this coming week on Monday Night Raw, a couple things happened that relate to this. First, Pure Fusion Collective, they are in a six-person tag match against anybody except for Io and Kyrie and Bianca and Jade, because they're doing their own thing I'm going to talk about next. But in this tag match, they lose and Shayna Baszler, she walks out. She's like, something's gotta change. She cuts a promo. She's like, ever since I came to Monday Night Raw back in 2020, I have not won a women's title. I have not, like, I've won one or two singles matches on pay per view. I used to be the Queen of Spades in NXT. I held that title for over a year. But ever since I got here, I couldn't even get my hands on one of those. Something's gotta change. I'm done with Pure Fusion Collective. That's their whole thing. So, also in the show, later on, we have a promo between Io and Kyrie, and we have Bianca and Jade in a promo. So, this one, Bianca, she lets it all out. She's like, damage control, you've messed up all my title opportunities. You, especially you, all the women's championship matches that you beat me in with the help of damage control, all the attacks you've done to me, like for 2 years now. So she's like fed up with them. She's like, this Saturday, I almost said Sunday, this Saturday at Crown Jewel, I put it to an end. I finally beat you two. I finally beat you, Io, definitively in a match. So, at that match at Crown Jewel, Io and Kyrie, they're going at it. At one point, they like send Jade through the announce table or something, and it looks like a really rough spot. And Jade, it looks like she's gonna be on the shelf for a good while. So Bianca Belair, she's fighting it out. It's her and Io at the end of the match. She can't beat her. Like, she's getting increasingly frustrated with the fact that she can't beat Io ever. So she hits a KOD, puts her feet on the rope. I know she beat her once, but that was in the tag match. And it was with the help of Jakara and Lash Legend. So right now, by herself, she hits a KOD, puts her feet on the rope. The ref doesn't see it, and she beats Io Sky. She pins her. And after Jade's like she's injured, she's hobbling to the back, she's like confused, and Bianca Belair, she has like her face is blank, no expression, and she's like, "We're done. It's finally over." That's her whole thing. So after this, the War Games build truly begins to me. On Monday Night Raw, after Crown Jewel, in this booking, Rhea Ripley gets her one-on-one title match with Liv Morgan. This comes because Bad Blood. Rhea Ripley won that match by DQ technically, so she gets that one-on-one match, and Liv Morgan's like, "Fine, I'll give you it." In the match, Raquel tries to get involved, and Io and Kairi, they come out to take out Raquel. If you remember from about a week ago or like 5 days ago, Io and Kairi, they're upset with Liv and Raquel, so they're getting one back on Raquel. They're taking her out. And in the end of the match, though, Liv Morgan, by nefarious Dominic means, keeps her hold on the title and retains it. So after this, like Rhea declares war on them. Adam Pearce announces the War Games match for Survivor Series, Team Rhea versus Team Liv. So, in the build to this, Rhea Ripley, she's already got two teammates. She has Kairi Sane and Sky because they don't like Liv or Raquel. And the thing is, Liv and Raquel, they're like, they don't have anyone really. They're supposed to find 4 people each team, but like they're having trouble with that. Eventually, Shayna Baszler takes up the offer after getting some wins for a couple of weeks on Raw. By herself, she takes up the offer and joins their team. So after this, it's 3-3. They need one more person. Rhea Ripley, because of Dominic, she is still struggling with Liv and Raquel and Sheena now. So she's like, anybody who wants to join us, come on. Like we need to find someone. So they're having trouble with it, but eventually it comes to a point where Rhea's getting beat up after a certain match. She's getting beat up by Liv. Bianca's on the ramp. She comes out and she's like, "Oh, I guess I gotta help you," because at this point, Io and Kairi would have gotten taken out backstage, so Bianca is the only option. She comes out, she helps Ripley out, but makes it a point that Bianca doesn't want to join the team. She's just here to even the odds and help out Rhea Ripley because she's got respect for her and her alone. So they keep trying to recruit her, but she keeps saying no. Her thing is, Rhea, I got respect for you, but you could not ever convince me to fight alongside Io and Kairi. You can't. That is not happening. Ever. And then the heels, Liv and Raquel, they're like, okay, we could give you anything you want, Bianca. If you hate Io and Kairi so much, how about you join us? We got an empty spot. And eventually, Bianca, she talks with Rhea one-on-one promo. She's like, okay, my thing is, You want me, like, I know they're trying to convince me to join. You want me to team up with the two, like, out of four people that I dislike the most. You want me to team up with them? No. There's nothing in it for me. Why would I do this? I get helping you out, but I got nothing to gain. I am here to be the women's tag team champion. I'm here to win gold. I want to help you, and I want to get that title off of Liv Morgan as much as you do. And then Rhea's like, okay, I suppose, like, this whole thing is kind of about me getting the title shot. How about this? If any of you get the pin that War Games match, and I get that title shot, you'll get first dibs against me. Whoever gets that pin, you get the first title shot right away. It could be the night after, it could be a week after, it could be a month after, it could be at WrestleMania. You're gonna get that title shot, and you're owed if you get that pinfall victory. Bianca accepts at this point. Match is official. However, Liv and Raquel are trying to bargain with Bianca. They're trying to offer her more, but Bianca is like, no, keep saying no. So, the War Games match goes down. It is, excuse me, it is a banger of a match. Might be the best War Games match we've seen with the amount of talent we got here. So, at one point in the match, though, everybody's laid out. Io goes to the top rope. She hits the moonsault on Liv Morgan. And after Io, or even, no, not the top rope, the top of the cage, right? It's War Games. And it's Io. She's like the MVP of War Games. So she does that. And Bianca and Io, they've been going at it throughout the match. They've been pretty upset with each other. And Bianca's at a boiling point. She was about to hit her at one point, but someone took her out. So Io's pinning her. 1, 2, Bianca steps on her to breaks up the pin. She stomps on her, and she's beating the heck out of Io. Nobody could believe it in Vancouver, probably. And she picks her up, hits the KOD, and it's revealed she is like the fourth person on Liv's team. This might be weird. I forgot to mention on the Go Home show, Liv says that we found her teammate and they are right, and they are here. They're like right here. So it's like teasers, but Bianca is that final one, and because she cannot stand the thought of Io getting a title shot or her being successful, because Liv seemingly offered her something greater than what Rhea did. She turns on her, and Liv tries to pin her, but she kicks out, and the match ends with 3 versus 3, how it was before. Rhea pins Liv Morgan, and she's getting the title shot. Later in the show, it's revealed that is gonna headline Saturday night's main event, and it's gonna be a barbed wire steel cage match. And coming out of this, not only do you have that match, you have Io and Bianca going at it. This time, Bianca is kind of going towards the heel side of things, and Io is the face. You almost flip it around, and It's just good stuff to me. This way, with Bianca's turn going after Io, well, you have not Raquel, Rhea beating Liv. You can crown a #1 contender in the background, perhaps. Whether it's a heel Bianca, whether it's Io, you could crown another contender for that title, because my goal here is to further stories and make the division stronger in general for Monday Night Raw. And I think I've done a good job at that. So, the next match is a WWE Championship match. It is Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the title. And this one, oh man, if you've seen Bad Blood, if you've seen all that, you know how good they are doing with the story. Sorry about that. But right now, it's announced Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at Crown Jewel is the match. So in this match, Randy Orton gets beaten like relentlessly by Kevin Owens. Kevin wins in like convincing fashion, basically. And Cody Rhodes, after he's interviewed, and he is completely thrown off of his game, and because of that, Gunther beats him in the main event. So, following this, Kevin Owens, like, he continues his pursuit of whatever it is he's after, and for that, right now, it's revenge. Kevin Owens thinks Cody betrayed him, which he kind of did by signing with Roman Reigns, right? Because they're going after him for like 2 years. Besides the point, Kevin Owens looks for revenge, and this title match is made. However, the issue is that nobody wants to referee this match. Like Triple H said, they could barely let Kevin Owens back, so it's not even about that. Nick Aldis is like, we can't find, you want us to find a referee for this match? We're barely able to sanction this match for Survivor Series. Like, the company doesn't want to be held accountable for Kevin Owens. He's unpredictable. They keep talking about that. So, eventually, Randy Orton returns after Crown Jewel, and he accepts the referee position. And Randy Orton, he's like demanding for Aldis to sanction the match. And finally, he does. WWE title match, Cody, Kevin Owens, Randy as the referee. It's just like Berlin. It's amazing. Except this time, Kevin Owens loses. Not because he hesitated to hit the power bomb on the apron to Cody. This time it's because he gets in Randy's face a bit too much. And Randy Orton pushes him, he shoves him right into a crossroads, and Cody beats him. So, after the match, Cody Rhodes extends a hand to Kevin Owens. He's like, we had an amazing match. Let's bury the hatchet. Kevin Owens looks this way, looks that way, looks at the crowd, and he accepts. So Cody picks Kevin up. Cody raises his arm, or Kevin raises his arm. That might be better. Kevin does. So Cody leaves the ring with the title. He thinks everything's fine. Oh boy. Randy Orton spins Kevin Owens around and RKO's him in the middle of the ring. Cody Rhodes comes back in. He's like, Randy, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's so upset. And Randy's like, I'm avenging you. I'm avenging you. He did this to you. He did this to us. All that. So It's a super dramatic ending. Randy and Cody walk out together. Cody's like yelling at Randy Orton down the ramp. And that's how we fade out of this title match. So now the next one, it's an Intercontinental title match. This build is kind of simple. So 8 days after Crown Jewel on Raw, Sheamus wins a battle royal or some matches or a battle royal because we're gonna use a match later on to determine a contender. So he wins a battle royal. He gets to fight Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. So the story of this match is Sheamus wants to win the IC title that's eluded him. He couldn't win it against Gunther. He couldn't win it, but he thinks he could now. That's what it comes down to. That's basically what it is. Braun Breaker tries to shut him down, tries to talk him down. Doesn't work. Sheamus thinks he has fight in him. Braun Breaker doesn't. That's what it comes down to. In the match, though, Sheamus does his best to win, but it's not enough. In the end, Braun Breaker hits him with one spear, gets back up, hits him with another, then picks him up and hits him with a third, and he retains the title. It's like a banger of a match, but in the end, Braun Breaker beats him in convincing fashion. So, after the match though, after Braun Breaker leaves, Sheamus walks out and the crowd gives him a round of applause. The camera sees on him, the announcers are like, Sheamus, he got beat down in this match. Who knows how much longer he'll be competing for us. This might be the last time. And I really want to get that point across because, big picture, I bring this to WrestleMania for the IC title, and I have Sheamus beat Braun Breaker at that show, proving that he could still hang. But that's a while away. This is like chapter 1 of that feud. Now is time for the next match, though. And this one, it had like about 3 weeks of build. So it's a calm before the storm. Because the next match, oh boy, it is an ambulance match between Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. Let's see how we got here. So, after SummerSlam, the night after, Braun Breaker hit him with like 6 tsunamis and put this guy on the shelf for like how long? 2 months? Around 2 months, give or take a few days. So Seth Rollins comes back in the last man standing match, makes him lose that, makes his intentions knowing that he wants Bronson Reed. Sorry if I mix up Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, by the way. Their names are pretty similar. I have a habit of doing that and just throwing that out there. But Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, they fight at Crown Jewel. That's in 1 week from today. And Bronson Reed beats him. Seth Rollins barely gets any offense in. Bronson Reed beats him, and Seth is carried out on a stretcher. Not because it's like a crazy injury angle, it's just because he's so injured. Maybe he's not carried out on a stretcher. We don't want to overdo that. Perhaps like 2 referees carry him to the back. So after that, Seth Rollins keeps trying to go after this guy, and this is where the build gets even crazier. The night after on Raw. By the way, I'm aware that Raw is pre-taped, but like you are built for Survivor Series. So what are you gonna do? Um, Braun Breaker, or not Braun Breaker. See, I mixed it up. Bronson Reed. After Seth tries to attack him, he sends him through the Titantron. He rams him through the Titantron, the mini one they got now. Explosions happen, and Seth is carried out in an ambulance. The next week, Bronson Reed puts him through the table. Seth is carried out in an ambulance. But this time, Bronson Reed rips the ambulance door off, like chucks Seth out of the ambulance and starts beating him with the door. At this point, maybe Joe Tessitore brings up the fact that every time Seth Rollins tries to fight Bronson Reed, ever since August, ever since the night after SummerSlam, he's ended up in an ambulance. Thus, the ambulance match. So, they keep going crazy, they keep doing things with ambulances, maybe Seth Rollins tries to run him over with the ambulance and Bronson Reed dodges. I don't know. Do crazy stuff. Go crazy for this build. Because that's what it should be. At the show, they go crazy. This is barbaric. More wild than the Braun Strowman match on Monday Night Raw, the last Monster Standing match. And one thing for this, I'm gonna put the ambulance instead of beside the ring. I'm gonna put it beside the Titantron. This is because the closing part of this match, Bronson Reed puts, like, Seth is knocked out at this point, puts him on the ambulance truck, like puts him on the roof of it, sorry, climbs up the Titantron, goes for a tsunami. Seth Rollins dodges. Bronson Reed goes through the truck, and the doors in the back are still open, so he goes through. Seth is looking like, oh my gosh, what just happened? He he runs, jumps down or something, tries to close the door. Bronson Reed almost gets out, but barely slams it shut. And he wins. That is a crazy match. How do you follow that match? You follow it with CM Punk and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. This story, it's not crazy complex. Basically, Punk beat Drew in a banger Hell in a Cell match, which, side note, I have the poster for over there. It's gonna go up here eventually, probably. But I got it right there. Next video, you will see that poster. Anyways, Cell was a banger. Also, Damian Priest beat Finn Balor. And the thing with these two, Punk called his shot before the Cell match, but he had to deal with Drew first. Damian called his shot. #1 contender match between Punk and Damian. CM Punk beats him. There you go. Gunther takes his digs at Punk, and Punk fires back. Survivor Series happens, and this is the Gunther match where the underdog gets taken down and they get slight flurries of offense, but it's mostly Gunther. The big point of the match happens though, when the ref gets distracted by Gunther, Ludwig comes up and takes the turnbuckle padding off of the turnbuckle. And Gunther then, he's smiling, he's got that mean grin on his face. You know that one. He tries to powerbomb. Punk slips out though, gets him in the GTS position, drops his head right onto the exposed steel turnbuckle. And Gunther, this is where I put blood in the show, by the way. Gunther is bleeding. He's dripping. And CM Punk, he sees his opportunity, picks him up again. It's a GTS. Everyone thinks it's done, probably. 1-2, Gunther has his foot on the rope. And throughout this match, Gunther's hit power bombs, everything he could on Punk. Punk kicks out. But then he hits a lot. He puts Punk. He doesn't hit him with it because it's a submission. He puts Punk in the Lion Tamer, knee on his head, like a Walls of Jericho, except the knees are on the head. And Punk, he's fading. Ref's about to call it. The fans cheer him on. He fires. He gets his fire back in him. This fire burns. He gets to the rope. Rope break happens, but then Gunther beats him up again. The same thing, he drags him back to the middle of the ring, puts him in the Lion Tamer, and CM Punk, he's faded. Crowd fires him back up. He's crawling to the ropes. He extends his arm fully to try and get there. He is this close to the ropes by extending his arm like that, but he fades. Gunther retains. And everybody is stunned. And after this, Gunther taunts everyone in the middle of the ring, taunts all the fans, leaves, and looks back at Punk. Right then, Punk wakes up. He doesn't know where he is. But then it comes to him, the realization he lost. You just see a sad person in the ring because he lost his title shot. Gunther retains. On that somber note, though, it is now time for the main event. It is Bloodline War Games. It is Roman, Sami, and the Usos versus Jacob, Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and the Guerrillas of Destiny. This one's already been built quite a bit. And the most recent thing as of this recording is Jay making up with Jimmy Uso. So now in the coming weeks, Roman tries to recruit Jay. He tries to get back on his good graces, but it doesn't work. Roman's running out of options. He goes to Raw, he talks to Sami. Sami ignores him and walks past him. And then you get to a SmackDown eventually. He begs Sami to come out. And Sami finally obliges. And Roman's like, I get it. I did horrible things to you. I manipulated you. I hurt you emotionally, physically. I did all these things. I'm sorry. I don't need you on my team. But I just want to say, whatever you want to do to me, whatever has been building up inside of you ever since 2022, ever since 2 years ago when we were in War Games, let it out. And Roman Reigns gets out of the ring, he brings a chair in, gives it to Sami, he's like, do it again. I can take it, let it all out. Hit me with that chair. And Sami is about to, but then he's like, Roman, you've changed. You know what? I don't like you. You know I don't like you. You've changed. I'm willing to join the team. And then afterwards, Roman Reigns, he keeps trying to recruit Jay. Sami even joins in at one point to try and get Jay to join Roman, but it's only in the end of the week After all this atoning from Roman Reigns for all of the horrible crimes he's committed on Jey, all the brainwashing, all the manipulating, all the physical hurt, all the mental hurt, emotional hurt, spiritual even. Like, Jey finally joins him. So it's set. War Games. They put on an amazing match, but at the end, it comes down to Roman and Solo. And Roman's in the corner getting ready to do his spear, but then the crowd starts to react because some hooded person comes in the ring. And Roman does ooh-ah, he's about to do it, but the hooded person blocks him, takes off the mask. It's the final boss, Bloodline rules. The Rock hits him with a rock bottom. And then Solo is out in the corner. He looks at Jacob and he's like, do your worst. Jacob hits his finisher, hits that Impaler DDT or the moonsault, and wins for the Bloodline. After the match, with Sami and Jey and Jimmy laid out in one ring, it is like the 5 people stalking Roman Reigns. But Solo, so The Rock, Jacob, and the Gorillas of Destiny beat up Roman Reigns. Solo, he's looking at Sami and the Usos in the other ring. He can't take it. He leaves. They continue the assault after Solo leaves. The Rock and the 3 others that he's with. Eventually, Pierce, Aldis, they're sending all these people out. Nobody can make it to the cage though. But then one person makes it in. It's Cody Rhodes. He tries to take them down, but The Rock hits him with a rock bottom. Closing image of the show. The Rock holding this version of the ones up. And he's over top of Roman and Cody. That's the closing image. So that is it for Future Song 5. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. This has been like almost 40 minutes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like, I know I don't get the most views, but I enjoy doing this a lot. I love pro wrestling, and this brings me joy, putting myself in the creative chair. But thank you for appreciating it. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for watching. This has been Plexus. See you in the next one.